All the people are here. Who's here? Hey, everybody, deal. We are in the hotel room. Yeah, he's in town visiting, and who's here? Everybody's here. Who do we got? We got Matt Goza, OPB, Hunter Seeker. Who else is here? Son of Liberty, what's up, brother? Jay Johns. I see another name. What's going on? Hey, so fingernails here. He's operationally operating like in the corner. Don't break it, fingernail. Don't break it.
Sorry, brother.
So allegedly, we have a connection. Can y'all hear me? Chainsaw, buffering, spinning. Lagging, barely. Love it. I don't know.
Low drag.
The world cannot understand. I'm going to try something. Stand by. Love it. Anybody now? How is it? Anybody? Not much better. Okay.
See if you can get on the casinos. I'm getting a SSA.
All right. Any better? Anybody? How's that? Hello, Jeff Brown. Can you hear me? How's the quality? Spinning circle of buffering. Love it. Okay. You froze just Han Solo. Okay. Well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Better? Jay Johns is better. Oh, thank. Better. Better. Okay. Well, for those it's better for, what do we want to talk about? Hit me. I got out, then got back in, and it's better. Okay. Me too. We found some Wi-Fi. Roger that, DL. Better-ish. Doing the best I can with what I got. So, vid signal is flowing well. Roger. What do you want to talk about? Who's got questions, concerns, issues? Yes, I'm at a hotel. How about layering clothing? When you put one on and then another on and then another on. Um, well, here's my stuff. T-shirt, intermediate, fleece, and then this is a Patagonia. It's wind proof, waterproof, and truthfully very hot. So yeah, like OPB said, wool is your friend, right? It's for me, it's pretty simple, man. People tell you don't wear cotton. I sweat terribly. Wool is definitely your friend. Then. Wool is definitely your friend because wool will retain about 80% of its heat retention. In and out here, Roger. Full encryption of phone and apps. Thank you, Mr. Morris. I don't know whether or not to be creeped out. Good stuff. Yeah, wool, man. Wool and something to cut the wind and the rain for sure. That's it. And usually when you're moving around, you're going to get warmer. And you're going to have to take stuff off. Yeah, I layer this year out of habit. You have to. I mean, certain areas of the country, you have to. So it was 74 degrees here the other day, and it's 25 and windy right now. So in about 36 hours, it's dropped 50 degrees, and the wind's probably 25, 30 miles an hour, something like that. So yeah, and wool is quiet too. That's another thing, because this thing is great, except the poles are shifting magnetic north. This is going to affect the declination of Compi.
Compass.
Okay. Compi. Oh, yes. Yes. Please make fun of me. Out of sync with your voice to see your mouth move. Hey man, I'm trying. If the signal isn't gonna work, I'll just shut it down. Yeah, merino wool's great, but anything else you can get is great too. There's a company whose name escapes me at the moment that makes some really good wool pants and wool intermediate layers, wool socks. Yeah. JB Fields is a company that makes decent wool socks. No, JB Fields makes good socks. There's another company whose name I can't remember. Anyway, JB Fields is a company you should look into. They've been making stuff for loggers since 1889. Watching that video last night made me want to start walking with a backpack to build up my endurance. Do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is you get fit. So, Canadian Army wool socks. Okay. Cool. Layering. Yes. What? Wool. Thank you, Broom. What else we got? What do you got? You got any thoughts on this? Come on. You ain't going to break it.
I agree. Merino wool is the way to go in hot weather and in cold weather. In hot weather, it wicks away your sweat, and in cold weather, it keeps you warm. There's my contribution.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
What I'm trying to do is I'm going to let my eyebrows grow out. I'm going to braid this into my eyebrows into my chin hair into my chest hair, and I'm going to braid it all into one giant piece of headgear.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. It's like a shemag of fur.
Great idea.
Yeah. Fur mag. Something like that.
Balaclava.
I just keep hitting buttons and Patriot Plumber's here. What's up, brother? A balaclava. That's very good. Hello, Montana home. Carhartt socks. Yeah, that's good stuff. The government just reset the GPS. Yep, I heard about that. Compi. It's Compi, man. OPSEC when checking in and out of hotels. Are you stalking me? Do I need to go work the hallway right now? Backup sources for mobile phones, radios, etc. for commo system for your bug out bag. A little tiny Goal Zero panel. Good to go. Good to go. Also some 18650 batteries, I think they are. The big ones.
Right.
You can get some of those pre-charged. They have a little USB thing that hooks into them, and you can plug that cable into your devices and get 2 or 3 charges off of those. And then spare bats, bro. Spare batteries. Mark Chase is here. What's up, brother? Good talking with you the other day. See, now the room is starting to populate.
Something else too. Amazon. This is a RAV power unit. Powers 2 or 3 cell phones several times.
And it's got, this is just a plug, and then it's got 3 USB ports in it. I feel like Morris is stalking us. I feel like he's out in the...
All right, so while TJ is gone, we can discuss the really important issues.
Like what?
Like, I don't know.
The room is saturated with skill and technique. Yeah.
That's why our internet went down, is
Right.
the sheer amount of tacticalness.
Oh, is PJ in the room? Who's here? Oh, hey. What's up, Pastor? Oh no.
Hi, Pastor Joe. I would like to apologize in advance for anything that okay, you're up.
Okay. All right. So this is how you live stream. Good. What other questions we got? You're under the bed. Kick the bed. He's under the bed.
He's
Actually,
Morris or Pastor Joe?
either.
Okay.
Morris, I guess. Mark Kozak's here at Training with My Friends. Okay. So, yeah, as far as recharging stuff on the run, a little solar panel's good. Spare batteries are good. Just be very aware of weight and bulk, right? Charger that snaps on my DeWalt batteries. That's cool. I didn't even know that thing existed. That'd be cool. So you're saying it's like a thing that plugs onto your lithium ion batteries for your DeWalts and it charges your stuff? Because that'd be very cool. Because I got a dozen of those. I'm the little spoon. No, I'm not staying here tonight. Fingernail is visiting this weekend, and so we just had dinner. And as friends, we're just friends. And so I'm live streaming here before I go home to my wife, whom I love. So. Lion Energy. Cool. So what else we got? Layering up clothes, keeping your stuff charged while you're on the run. Magnetic north shifting. That's a good one. I actually have a rope of, what's that stuff called? Poison ivy right here across my shoulder from putting a log on my shoulder, and it's the best. For solar, I have folding solar recharger. Yep. About $20. Yes, it does. 2 ports. By name. Powder dry. Yes, keep your powder dry. Arm Antifa March this weekend. Yeah, you emailed me about that. They intended to meet with some neo-Confederates that never showed. Probably a good thing, because that's the last thing I think we need socioeconomically, geopolitically. Pick your own big words these days. I don't know if we should be throwing lit matches at the powder keg. That's actually a cool idea, Patriot. Route recon, keeping aware of choke points. On route recon, keeping aware of choke points, what do you think? Yes, I think you should. Logs on shoulders, yep. Yeah, I did it. And now I've got all the stuff. It's less than ideal. Gordon, shalom, brother. So let's go there. DL Hemingway. On route recon, keeping aware of choke points, what do you think? Man, I mean, what are we talking about here? Vehicle-borne operations? Are you moving on foot? Are you by yourself? Are you with a team? What's the deal? Ideally, there should be somebody out ahead of you reporting back to you. You should have a way to talk to each other, or at least signal each other. Hey, man, there's a problem up here. We should go this way. But that's something that you should probably seek training in, because me telling you how to do it on the internet is not going to have any effect on your ability to actually do it. And you really need to coordinate with you and your team what that looks like, how to go and move, and what works best for you and your environment. But the long and short is, as much early warning of choke points and pinch points as you can get, the better, because distance equals reaction time. So if I'm right here, you have to react to me right now. If I'm way back here, you have more time. So yes, should you? Yes. If you're by yourself, you need a way to positive ID stuff that's out there. So, that's why I have on my recce rifle, I have magnification, because I can look and see without having to carry a separate pair of binos. But I have a major river that bisects my county between me and a friend's area of operations. get good at swimming, hide a canoe somewhere, have an inflatable raft, figure out how you're getting across it if you need. But I'll tell you this, it's less than ideal. I would go over it before things get terrible if I could, i.e., take a bridge or whatever. Because crossing a river unnecessarily, two thumbs down.
Buy stock in dry bags.
Yeah, yeah, buy stock in dry bags. Little Civ drones are amazing. Brad Grembra, what's up, brother? Just getting home. Video on how to program Kenwood radios for added ComSec. Not your guy. How to program anything. I barely know how to program my coffee pot. My wife had to do that for me. Gordon was recently here and programmed a bunch of my radios for me. So, yeah, I'm not the guy on how to program radios. So I'm also not the guy that knows anything about drones. Not my gifting and my talent. Barely figured out how to comment on here, right? Like I'm lucky I can make coffee in the morning and somehow have a couple of internet-based businesses without any actual signal strength or bandwidth and talk at a sideways iPhone. So, yeah, I don't know. Easy to get a few miles out of drones, plan out OPs with drones. Yep. Have another friend on my side of the river, plan B bad. Okay. Yeah, if you got to get over that river sooner than later. That is a big thing. Learn the kit and it will keep you alive. Finally figured out how to Twitter last week. Well, yeah, all right, so let's go to OPB here, Ontario. As far as you're saying learn your kit, what kit do you have on you all the time? Like, all the time. Here's one of these. Wallet, knife, this knife. Where'd it go? It's somewhere. I have another knife. And a lighter. This is not planned. Flashlight. Gloves. Tourniquet. And spare mag. That's on my person.
This is true, guys. He really did show up here with all of this stuff. This is not a made-for-TV production.
No, I'm not special.
Lie.
No gun. Don't feel like getting thrown in the slammer. You should move. Love an AR pistol in the vehicle or in the bag. I think I'm going to put together an AR pistol just for my wife's car. But I'll tell you truthfully, right now, man, I don't rattle when I roll. Deadly silent. You know, my biggest concern right now, truthfully, is not firepower, it's food. It's still food right now. I'm still concerned about food. Like, I don't think you can have enough food. I do think at some point, do I want all of the ammo? Yeah. I think I'd rather have an inordinate amount of food and good enough ammo than an inordinate amount of ammunition and good enough food.
There's not enough Tabasco you can put on a 5.56 round to make it tasty.
Right. Right. And here's the, food is firepower, right? And it's also fuel for you. The thing too is like, you probably, hopefully, never have to fire around in anger. Gotta eat. You have to eat. And so, I don't know. Best case scenario, I win the Powerball tomorrow and I buy all the food and all the ammo, right? And a bunch of other things too. But right now, I'm stacking food way more than I'm stacking ammunition. And that's just where I'm at with it. Builds and runs an army. Yeah, exactly right. You can drill without rounds in your gun. You can't drill without food in your stomach, not for too long, you know. So it's definitely there's a balance there. There's a dichotomy, but ideally you have all of everything, but it doesn't work that way. Very few people have unlimited resources. Hell, even the Department of Defense doesn't have unlimited resources. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Is I still have a bone deep conviction to stack food, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, USGS.gov, Brad.
Great topo maps.
Yep, good maps. Was weird stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, their website sucks. But if you can navigate the horrendous website, they have good maps there. And again, not the guy. These are not my tools. These hold my tools. Managed to put all my food in places and realized I didn't have as much as I thought. Uh-huh. That's, well, hold on. Let's come to that. It all fit under 3 double-sized beds and in the hall closets. I'm on that like flies on crap. Yeah, man. Here's the thing. I think we have a sense of, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of food. 20 to 25 buckets per person per year. I like 25 because I'm this size of a man. I can eat, right? And yeah, I like 25 buckets per year. So that means for a family of 6, that's 150 buckets. It's a lot, right? So that's, 4,500 pounds-ish, 5,000 pounds. So yeah, it's a lot of food for a year. And then you should have 15, 18, 21, 24 months, so forth, so on. Says me. BB guns and airsoft training tools. Well, where you live, man, a BB gun's about to be an assault rifle. He's got a Red Ryder. Get him. Sir, drop the weapon.
Where are you, in London?
He's in Pacific Northwest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Jay Johns, yeah, man. Like, that's a good place to be. That doesn't mean you quit stocking it. Keep stacking food, man. Because, I don't know. I'm like, the number 4 is just, I don't have it here, but I have it here. 4 years is what's been on me lately. So you should have 4 years. So, and I don't know why that is. It's not logical, but it's something here that says, T, you need 4 years worth. Now, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means the Father's going to bring somebody to me that I need to then bless. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but me from here, it's 4 years. That's what he's told me. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, brother. I mean, and I owe you a phone call too, by the way. I'm sorry. I've been all the busies. But that's not an excuse, so we'll make it happen. Adding 7 more that will bug out to my place. I have a long way to go to get that much food. Yeah, you do. And you know what? They need to have, yeah, I see you, Patriot. They need to contribute as well, Tasha. They need to contribute as well. It's not all on you. I mean, and maybe that's, hey, we're coming to your house. Cool. You need to send me $100 a month each so I can put stuff up for you, or whatever they can do. But unless you just, won the Powerball, then prep for everybody. Hell, I'm coming to your house if you won the Powerball.
Right.
Sounds good. So, told them they had to send me $8K to start. That's a good place to start. I like that. That's how I'm going to open every business conversation now. Just send me $8K and we'll start there. It's like I learned that one from Tasha on the internet. It's just all I wanted was a phone call. Cool, that's $8K. It's okay. Carrying is really concealed. Yeah. You need to read Mosby's book if you can get it. Deep Conceal. So what else we got? Yeah, Feed Store is a great place. I actually have a video coming out on that soon about buying corn from Atwoods. Lois wants to know if you're going to do the Super Bowl Adam Levine challenge and cut Archlitexahomus into your belly hair. I didn't even know what that was. So, no. Sorry, Lady Lois. Plus, it's 25 degrees outside. I need this fur. I can't be without this.
For $8,000,
For
I
eight-
will shave that into his abdomen.
As long as we're going halves, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Filled 4 buckets last night, 4 tomorrow. Awesome. Unless Lois sends the 8K, yeah. Freeze dried meals. Yeah, 8K, man, you can get more than freeze dried food, a lot more food for 8K with dried goods. Look at all that taco meat. No shaving, plucking, unacceptable, sir. They don't make duct tape that strong. So, all right, let's get back on target here. 8K, you can buy dry food, grains for a lot more. You can get a lot more food with dried goods than with freeze-dried stuff.
Well, why not take some of that and get a dehydrator or get a vacuum sealer and prepare your own as opposed to buying Mountain House or Wise
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, or just get a pallet of rice. You get 2,000 pounds of
go.
rice for $1,000. So, how do you feel about Harvest Red freeze dryer? So yeah, here's the thing, right? My wife wanted to buy one of those for this very reason, and we looked into it, and they're basically, this is our take on where they are. They have a good product that has known issues that they are waiting to improve upon. They have to sell what they have now to finance the next generation that will be even better. And there's a lot of people who bought now who wish they had waited. So we haven't bought one yet. We are waiting to buy one, if we buy one, when they come out with the next generation of the home freeze dryers, because they're pretty pricey right now. I think the one that she was looking at was about $3,000, and there's a lot of reviews that are like, this thing's great, but you got to clean it all the time. It can get dirty. It gets messy. Yeah. 1,400 pounds of red and white wheat for $600. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, and again, you really want to think about, it's a lot of, so, and that's about 2,500 calories a day, depending on what it is that you're eating that day. And you can very easily go into starvation mode if you're not being smart with how you spend your calories as far as the actions that you're undertaking. You can go into a caloric deficit if you're eating food that isn't nutrient dense and you're doing a lot of hard work. So, in fact, Bug Out Bubba just did a video on this that's really good. Really good conversation about you need to not just think about what to store, but you need to think about how to eat it during SHTF, and what are you doing? How are you going to position yourself on the battlefield of life that you're not expending unnecessary calories? And I thought that was really smart. It kind of took it to the next level.
Patriot Nurse has a video about that as well.
Patriot Nurse, is she still just ranting at the camera though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Any issues with square buckets rather than round ones? No, other than I have a hard time finding the square ones, and they usually cost more, but I got nothing against them. Yep. Also, Jay Johns, buy your grains this time of year, fewer bugs. One bad hailstorm ruins it. Yep. That's exactly right, man. And see, that's the thing too. OPB, man, don't worry. Like, you feel bad about you having to cancel your call. You should see what my day looked like today. Yeah. Life happens, man. It's cool. I've been needing to call Patriot for 2 weeks. So, like, truth bombs, man. Like, I'm sorry. Later, Mr. Morris.
So he's not under a bed or out in the hallway anymore?
I guess where is he?
He must have collected enough intel. He's done for the
He's
day.
out. Hold on, I should carry abdomen and chicken wing like this
There you go.
That, you know, that's
Yeah, elbows. Gotta get
all the
your
way out
yeah,
like
that's
this.
it, right? Mhm.
You should look like one of those giant buzzards about ready to take off.
Or a peacock.
When you draw from the abdomen like this, that is the only way. And then after you do this, like this.
Right.
That's how I'm training people for that.
It's all about the elbows.
You can take my online pistol class. It's $8,000.
That's right.
And there it is. That's it. That's all there is to it. 468 for 50 pounds of whole corn, dude. That's awesome. Super tactical. All right, and then I yell at people with knife hands. Besides beans and rice, what about canned meat and fish? Yeah, it's got a shorter shelf life. The best way to store protein that I know of is on the hoof. When you need it, it keeps forever that way. They'll live 20 years. And then when you need one, you just, come here, and then you turn it into meat. So, but obviously not everybody can be homesteaders.
It's true.
So otherwise, yeah, put it on the shelf, man, just rotate it. Almost have to use barrels for that much wheat. Yeah, barrels are harder to move though, and they don't move well even if you're using material handling equipment. They don't move well on rough terrain, so that's something to consider as well. At least in buckets, buckets are less efficient, but you can pick them up and move them with your hands. So, and stretching, bending, lifting injuries, trying to move a barrel, a couple of guys. Now you got 500 pounds of wheat spilled out on the floor and your back's out. So, what livestock for small plots? Okay, if you're not Torah observant, meat rabbits. If you are Torah observant, meat chickens for sure. Let's see, DL Hemingway, what livestock for small plots? Chickens for sure, because they're really easy. As long as you kill all the roosters, they're not that annoying. They contribute, you get eggs every day, you can butcher them for meat, and then they make good manure, which is great compost for top dressing crops. I like goats and sheep. I'm not the consummate expert on goats and sheep. And then if you're not keeping Leviticus 11, meat rabbits, they are freaking, they make meat fast. They put on meat at 4 pounds of feed to 1 pound of meat. Beef cattle are 7 pounds of feed to 1 pound of meat. So they have almost twice as good a ratio as beef cattle. Yeah, quail's another one. I hate ducks. I absolutely hate keeping ducks. I despise ducks. I can't stand ducks. And yet I'm going to have ducks again. Thank you, Lady Lois. Thank you so much. You're the best.
I would not shoot the roosters though if you want to keep perpetuating your chicken
Yeah,
flock.
yeah.
Because the whole fertilization thing doesn't work when you execute the roosters.
Right. Well, yeah. But roosters plural is the thing to understand. Like you don't need multiple roosters.
Okay.
Like one rooster will service 12.5 hens, no problem.
Okay.
So if you have 4 roosters and 6 hens, you're gonna have issues. And they're annoying as everything, which is why you just kill them. Geese, yeah, I mean, yeah. Geese, as far as I know, don't like to be kept. They like to come and go. They don't really like being kept. There's some snowflakes in here that don't know how it worked. Got attacked by an angry duck when I was a little kid and haven't been able to bring myself to keep them even 30 years later.
Wow.
I just can't stand ducks. The ducks that I had were French ducks, and they acted like it. They did not want to know you. They turned their nose up at you. Just feed me, a-hole. Just give me food, and I'm leaving.
But the good thing, when confronted, they surrender.
Yeah, well, yeah, they would always run away. Yes. French surplus military rifles, never fired, only dropped once. So, okay. Death to all geese. Geese are wildly unpopular, apparently. Oh, man. Canadian geese flock to the field behind my cabin. Yeah, they're illegal to shoot, I think, in the United States, or at least you're not supposed. No, you can only shoot them with the stamp, I think.
Right. With steel shot and
Yeah.
all sorts of regs.
Yeah. I just got a trebuchet that I just filled with molten hot balls of iron.
Right.
That when they fly over, I just cut the rope and whoosh, They take dozens of them out of the sky, one shot like
And they
that.
literally land cooked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best.
Oh, yeah.
It's tremendous. Kick him in the neck, Daddy. Kids were attacked by a goose when little. I kicked him in the neck, forever known as kick him in the neck, Daddy. Oh, that's phenomenal. I have one and it just won't die. Right? Okay. Great gumbo or bumbo? So, animals for a small homestead, small plot of land. Yeah. I'm finding really that sheep are way easier than goats, and at least my sheep are so well behaved. The goats are so high maintenance. They're just lots of energy and like they just oh my I get the Hebraic concept here between a sheep and a goat, right? Like the sheep is, knows the voice of its master and goes where it's supposed to go and does what it's supposed to do, and the goat is just completely willful and doesn't want to know you. Got 2 goats yesterday. Yeah, well, here's the other thing too, truthfully. Our goats are little. They're still bottle babies, and they're turning into total a-holes. Like, they're really just miserable. I don't love them. I'm not going to have a hard time turning them into food. This is a fact. The sheep, however, like my ram, Clyde, he's awesome. He comes over to the fence and we hang out and I'll pet him and I'll grab his head and push on him and he pushes back and we hang out. It's cool. So I'm kind of digging the sheep. The goats are definitely just a means to an end. So you'll meet them tomorrow.
Was this the one? Was this Sukkot or which one was this?
Oh, so yeah, we have Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. And Sukkot is actually, I like Sukkot. He's a baby lamb.
Right.
But Pesach and Shavuot, they're dead. Like, they're dead. No hard feelings whatsoever. They are definitely meat. See, Jay Johns, I'm not having that issue at all. Ontario, I would kill this thing with my literal bare hands, no problem. Like, he's not that bad. Like, and you can flip them too. All you got to do is grab him by the back of the neck and pull one hoof out from underneath him, and they go right down. Were the goats 2 kids were sleeping in the new garden? Yep, that's correct. The little tiny things. So, all right, what else we got? Goats are obnoxious. They're like nuclear waste. If they escape for even a moment, everything near them gets ruined. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. All right. What other questions we got? Why is my hair this long? I don't know. It's my wife's fault. I don't dig it. Send it.
Are we still online? Is this thing working? They got quiet.
There we go. I want to build one of those for real. What, this hat?
Or that lovely head of hair.
Oh, you want to build a head of hair? They can take it off your butt and put it on your head now. What do you think about burying a septic tank as a root cellar? I think if you're going to dig a hole in the ground already, you might as well just dig a hole in the ground and frame the walls up, put the dirt back on top. I mean, it could work if you have the septic tank, but has it ever been used? I don't want to be walking in and out of a used septic tank. Ugh. How well has it been cleaned? I think it could work. I don't think I know enough about it. Ew, no, a new one. Maybe. That depends on how much the tank costs. How much room is there actually inside of the tank, and is it a square tank or a round tank? Because round tanks are going to be very inefficient space-wise inside. If it's a square tank, then yeah, I could see that making sense. But don't get yourself into a situation where you think it's going to be expedient to put this thing into the ground. Then you find out pretty quick there's actually a lot of labor involved to make it be what you want it to be. Because I got into that situation burying Connex boxes. That's why I tell people now, don't bury Connex boxes. They're not designed to bear load on the sides.
Marty had a great point.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said methane kills. So if you do, in fact, use a used septic tank as your root cellar, you wouldn't have to worry about varmints or people breaking into your food stores because, if they make it through the door, they're not going to survive the gas.
Yeah, I don't want to eat the food that's been in there, though.
There's that
I'm
too.
not interested. That's about as cool as a used septic tank. Yeah. Power's out. Nice. Sheep have a reputation. Shut up, tribesmen. They're bad. Yeah. Spider hole. Yeah. Do you weatherproof your maps? If so, how? Yeah, I put them in a gallon Ziploc bag. That's super low speed. I print them out. I put them in a gallon Ziploc bag. You can also get sheet protectors. They're like $1 for 20 of them at Dollar General. Slide the map in there. Take a strip of duct tape and put it over the top where you slid them in there. Good to go. So, very simple. Hey, what's up, Iron Man? Shalom, brother. Yeah, so that's not something where you have to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of good options there already, and they're inexpensive and they're low speed, but they work. So 20-foot shipping container properly insulated on the inside for a Faraday cage ? Mag Rising, great question. Short answer, I have no idea. Caveat, I don't think many other people do either. If you can walk inside the shipping container with your radio on and still get a signal, no. That's my answer is no. If you can pull the doors closed, switch your radio on and transmit and receive, no. You don't have a Faraday cage. So that's something to try. Certainly try it before you buy it. Map Seal, it makes printed maps water resistant. Cool. Yeah, you can also get them laminated, man. 5 miles from Danville. I don't know.
Danville, Ohio?
I think they're in Illinois, ? I don't know. You'll find out. You're the Ohio guy.
Danville where?
Dantucky.
Danville, Kentucky.
Yeah, so Trebuchet, yeah.
Illinois. Okay.
So Jay Johns, I agree, but I do think that, again, not being the consummate expert on this, but I think that it proves the concept that things are still getting in and out. And so maybe the waves are different, but I don't know.
At the end of the day, it's still a radio frequency, and you have to also think about the seal of the door. Are you still sealing off? What's the word I'm looking for? Electricity passing through. Is it? You know what I'm saying? Translate for me here.
Piezoelectricity?
Yeah.
What?
Question mark.
Yeah.
So if you don't have it completely sealed, if there's a way for
If it's seeping,
that one.
Current or current.
Current.
Current. No, I prefer current. Current is better than current. Long answer to your short question, I don't know, man. If you're gonna buy a shipping container, yeah, slip antenna needs to be completely sealed. Yep. Current seep? Sure. Love it.
That.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, send it to the Skunk Works. What are we doing? The anti-current seep device.
That's right.
What's that? Don't know. Figure it out. It starts with a box with a rubber seal around it. I'm in the Metro East St. Louis area. No, that didn't say St. Louis. That's a STL, Illinois.
STL is the airport code for St. Louis, isn't it? Motorcycles for bug out vehicle and prepping use thoughts.
We're all dead. Pretty much that. Yeah, Patriot Plumber hit it on the nose. We're all dead. So, yeah. Listen, motorcycles for a bug out vehicle. Again, in certain scenarios, sure. In certain other scenarios, no way, man. Absolutely not. How much weight are you carrying? How far are you going? How much lead time do you have? Do you own the thing? Do you actually know how to use it? Is there a half a foot of snow on the ground? Is there fuel in it? Can you navigate on it? Maybe. So you can get me either direction on that. If you own it, you know where you're going with it, and the time of year is appropriate for it, and you're not carrying too much weight.
Or
sure.
family.
Or family. Yeah, sure. Does it have cup holders?
Only the good ones.
Right. Can you wear one of those helmets with the beer holders on it while you're operating it? Because I mean, if it's SHTF, like at this point, who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like 2 keystones, we're going. I'm gonna get an assault helmet and hang 2 of those, one on each side of it, and just other side of the Mississippi. Best Faraday cage is silver metal trash cans. Yeah, actually, I know people that have done that and it doesn't work. The silver metal trash cans with metal duct tape. Yeah, I know people who have done that and it doesn't work. A sidecar for a dog armed with an MG42. Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Why not? Soon to be not me in Illinois. Yes. That's right, tribesman. He's relocating. Trash cans won't work for an EMP, wrong frequency. See, here's the thing with EMP, man, and that's like, I just talked about this on the video that posted today, and this is just one bear's opinion of the situation. Theory, opinion, conjecture. Like, all across the board, there's always an element of, we know these few things, and we can extrapolate from this data, this maybe. But it all comes back to this maybe. Don't hit me with your phone, man. Yeah, somebody just posted, yeah. And actually, there's going to be another one coming out on Patreon as well. And see, that's the thing. Like, I heard oil barrels work. Yeah, and I think PJ did a video called How I Heard Can Get You Killed, right? So that's, I don't know, man. I don't know, and I'm not convinced that many other people know either. No offense to everybody in the room. Like, but I've met people that are way smarter than I am at this who are still scratching their heads. Yeah, so, oh, and here's the other thing too, right? Like, if I wanted to be a scumbag, I would make a device that was absolutely guaranteed to protect your stuff from EMP, and I would sell it high dollar.
$8,000.
$8,000. Email my assistant Tasha. Everything she does starts at $8K, and I'd sell it for $8,000 ish. And then when the balloon goes up, what are you gonna do? Call me for a refund? Like, I don't know. You know, how do you prove the concept? And I know you can put radios in it and do the push to talk. Hey, it works, or hey, it just doesn't work, or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just not sold on the whole thing.
The only real data that we have is from the Carrington event from the 1850s.
Yeah.
And how good is the data back then?
Right.
They didn't have the internet to verify.
$8,000. Hearing protection, hearing enhancement, comm capability, headsets for small security unit tactics. Don't use comms unless you need them. Step 1. Like, don't be chattering all the time. There's many a headset that has the 2-pin connector that plugs into the side of your radio. Operation Starfish data. Yeah, ish. How many times has that been stepped on? So, billions spent on EM proofing the telecom industry. Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy to stand corrected, brother. I don't know of anything that legit works. I know of a bunch of stuff that in theory should work. I've not seen it myself personally, so I can't talk on it. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know. Send me some links. I'll check it out, Jay Johns. But I don't know.
When you would also have to EMP proof all of the transmission lines, all of the distribution lines as well.
Well, hold on. I want to touch on this. Illinois Patriot 2, disaster prepper on YouTube. It is his specialty. Has a PhD in electronics. Okay, cool. Brief talk on this, and I'm going to use a brief example to illustrate a point. I am not an engineer. Okay, I'm not. I'm a construction guy. I had 3 of the best engineers in the world for power construction on a project in the Northeast in Long Island, New York. And they were trying to pump liquid grout into a conduit that was filled with a live power cable. and they were breaking casings. The pipe that it was in was busting seams, and they were having major issues because of the back pressure. And so they called me in as an extra set of eyes because it was a major situation, and it was a live 230 kVA, 230,000 volts, 230,000 amps. And they're like, T, help us. Okay, here's the deal. The conduit was like this, and they were trying to pump from the bottom up so that they could get a full head of column of grout from the back pressure and push it up into the casing. Well, the casing's only rated at Schedule 80 PSI differential pressure. You exceed 80 PSI, it blows up. Hey guys, we'll just pump it from the top down. Well, how do we know we don't get air pockets? We'll use a Tremie tube, we'll shove a hose in there, put a pressure gauge on it, and when the pressure comes up to 60, we'll pull the hose back and keep pumping until it comes up to 60, pull the hose back, no air pockets. So 3 of the smartest guys in the country on power construction, engineers, old gray beards standing around looking, scratching their head going, why didn't we think of that? And so it's not that they're not smart, it's not that that's not their specialty, but a lot of times people get too close to the problem to actually have some perspective on how to deal with it. So I do pay homage where homage is due when somebody's a specialist in their field, but I'm always mindful of the fact that they may be too close to the situation to actually affect change on it. So there's a brief lesson. Sells product and books. Yeah, there's another thing. If you haven't tested it, it doesn't work. Exactly. Any recommendation on mill for stored grains? The one I bought my wife, whose name I can't remember. It's big and metal and has a lifetime warranty. Don't remember what it's called though. Security officer, school trained welder, and school trained videographer and former soldier. My plan is to live low tech post SHTF. Yep. Yeah. Utilities are screwed. Yeah, I agree. You know, and I do think, based upon what I've learned, is that the smaller stuff seems to be like it'll be less affected, but I'm not betting my life on it. That's my thing, is I guess my line in the sand is there's need to have, nice to have. My need to have does not include anything that is powered by electrons. Period, the end. Like, that's a nice to have. I would definitely prefer to be able to pull out a radio, push to talk. Yo, fingernail, how about you come on over? We'll hang out at 3. That's much better than trying to train the carrier pigeon to fly into you and, you know, you read the little scroll and fly back, or like smoke signals, signal mirror, or runners. But I'm not betting my life on it.
That would make Fortnite very hard too.
Yeah, yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly, Brad. Like, need to have, nice to have. I'm not betting my life on anything that could potentially go away. Have contingency plans for your contingency.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Wolf ears. So anyway, yeah, getting back to hearing protection. There's a lot of good noise canceling muffs which name escapes me. They're not the oh my gosh, the Howard Lights. The ones that are, you know, they're muffs you put on and they're noise canceling. Maybe it is the Howard Lights. There's one that has a spiral cord that plugs into your radio with a push to talk on it. So you get the noise canceling plus your radio if you need it / want it. I like push to talk mics on my radios. And for me, like, the radio portion of it is, I'm not on that thing chattering all the time. It's there if I need it. Yeah, hammers, screws. Yeah, exactly. Hand-powered stuff. That's my jam. Is like, and listen, I love a circular saw. Might not work. Chainsaw probably will. I mean, there's no reason why a chainsaw won't. And this thing, if I can grab a saw, this will work as long as I have food to put in my belly to make it run. So.
And it's guaranteed EMP proof as well.
Yeah. There's zero electronics in this body. How about headsets? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. If a Carrington event happened today, it'd be utterly devastating.
You're right. We're far more dependent upon electronics than they were in the 1950s.
House fires everywhere. Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man, I didn't even think about that.
Your surge suppressor is now a capacitor.
Yeah. An overloaded capacitor.
Right.
What else we got, guys? We're pushing an hour. We got anything else good to talk about? Boom, mic drop, nice. Yeah, everything looks good on paper in theory. Yep.
Right.
Well, then I gotta go. Time to use the preps. Tree just smashed through the house. Oh, next over plot. Hey man, yeah, go do the tribe things. Stay safe. I've played that game before. You need lots of adequate lighting. Please have lots of adequate lighting while you're cutting trees in the dark while they're on top of people's houses, and get plastic tarps, duct tape immediately to seal off the part of the house that had a tree through it. So preserve the heat in the house as much as you can. That sucks. I've had that during ice storms. I had a maple tree twice as big around as you swung and took off the corner of somebody's house and put a hole about the size of this wall in it.
Wow.
2 o'clock in the morning in an ice storm, and their driveway was like this. We put the log truck in backwards and used the gravel to reach out and pull the log truck up the drive just to get it in there to move the tree. It's miserable. What else we got? Yeah, should I pick my nose? Got it. Truck, it's crazy light. Yeah, good. Yeah, keep lights on. Cheers, brother. Stay safe, all right? And watch your footing, especially while you're operating a chainsaw. What do you think folks underestimate most in regards to preparedness? Wow, that's a great question. I think that most folks think that they can do the hard things that it's going to take to get the job done. And I think we're all going to be surprised, myself included, at the capacity for human atrocity and just how terrible things can be, but also how wonderful things can be. I think life is going to get a lot more real for a lot of people, and I think that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And I think way more people than we think about are going to opt out. I think there's going to be a lot of manifestation of mental illness, per se, people who just refuse to play that game. I think it's going to come like a gut punch out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, this new reality is going to be something that a lot of people just can't cope with. And truthfully, for me, it's like, what's my prime motivation here? Protect the people I love. Like, that's it. Protect the people I love.
That's right.
And be hard enough to meet the situation with action to protect the people I love. And friends, family, tribe, in concentric circles out from there. But I think that that's probably psychologically and spiritual hardness and strength and resilience is something that I think most people really underestimate, because I can tell you to go ruck. I can tell you to buy all the food, buy all the guns, have all the training, understand the medical stuff, do all of that. And that's great, man. But if you fly off the handle every time something difficult happens in your life now, how are you going to react when there is no system, when there is no safety net? Like if you're not seriously plowing the field of your heart now while times are good, what are you going to do during chaos, man? What are you going to do when like everything is turned to shit? And I think that there's a certain proclivity for some of us who have lived through this shit to understand how bad things can be. And I think it awakens us as preppers, self-reliant individuals, to plan toward that eventuality. But it's that awareness of the atrocity, the capability of human atrocity, that breaks a lot of us in the first place, right? It's that thing that just, like, we realize not just what everybody else is capable of, but what we're capable of as well. And something inside of us breaks. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that break because of this thing, whatever it is. So I think that the mental, emotional, spiritual aspect of it is what I think is going to take a lot of people by surprise. Because you might have everything you need and find out that right here, you're no good and none of it matters. And so, I mean, I am unapologetic about my relationship with the Creator. And like, that informs everything I do. And if it did, I wouldn't be in as good of a position as I am right now. If it didn't, you wouldn't be here. Right. We wouldn't be having this conversation. And so I've said it 100 times, I'll say it 100 more. This works because He is who He is, not because I am who I am. But it's because He is who He is that I can get this squared away, so that when the balloon goes up, yeah, I have all the things and I have the training and I've built the tribe, and it's not that any of that is cheap, because it's not. It's real and it has to happen. But none of that matters if this is no good. If my mental, emotional, spiritual is no good, not even worth playing the game. And I think a lot of people are going to realize real quick, I ain't playing this game, man. I'm out. And that scares me. I think we're going to lose a lot of people.
I think it'll be like Black Friday times 100.
Right.
Look how people are over a sale on a TV. Now what happens when we're talking about feeding their children or
Right.
things like that? People are going to go crazy.
Yeah, the mission critical stuff. And I think there's going to be a lot of despair. And I really think that, Gordon, who's in the room, I hope he's still in the room. One of the things we talked about, and when he mentioned it, I was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. If we're putting together refugee buckets, if we can get Bibles for $1 a piece on Amazon, why wouldn't I put a Bible in a refugee bucket?
It's a great idea.
And so now we are. In fact, he bought a bunch of them and was like, here, take these. These are for refugee buckets. Because we can feed everything else, but if we're not feeding this, what's that passage? Somebody comes to you and says, James was talking about faith, faith and works, right? And basically, if you come to me and you're starving, and I'm like, okay, well, bless you, brother, go and eat.
Right.
That doesn't actually help anything, right? Because I've not fed you when I had the opportunity to, right? And so that's how James chose to illustrate the "you'll know my faith by my works" concept, right? But if I can feed you in your belly, but I can also feed you here in your soul, why wouldn't I? For $1,
What does it profit to gain the whole world and lose your soul?
Right. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, that's my opinion of it. I think that for me, I think that's one of the most under-prepped areas is the mental, emotional, spiritual. And it's, something I actually get a lot of questions from you guys about that. How do we prep for that? And I think it's, you need to understand both they're $3. No, thank you, brother. They're $3. I should go home and buy 20 of them, you're going to die, plan accordingly. Yeah. I think that we need to understand both how terrible things can be and how wonderful things can be. And you need to have that hope, right? You need to have something to hope for. And that's my thing, right? It's a cornerstone of what I believe. It's we're all just trying to get home anyway. And luckily I know the way home. So, all right, and right now in this temporal plane of existence, I have people that I'm responsible for. I have people that I will answer to the creator of the universe for how well I stewarded those relationships and led my people and taught them and encouraged them. And even this, how well I did this, I will answer for that. But if around it took me right now and I take the mighty escalator upstairs, okay, here we go, So, not that I want to stand in judgment. I'm not. No. No way, dude. No way. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, long answer to your short question. I think that's what's under prepped, and the rest of it doesn't mean anything. So, it was just a woodshed, Roger that. Good job. All right, we missed all the comments. All right. Grow some St. John's wort. Okay. Going to see all kinds of crazy. Way more off guard. Mentally being prepared is the best. Yep. Dealing with new normal. Hopefully my morals will not be tested. That's what scares me the most. I prep so I don't have to test them. I think that's a really good point. What did you say earlier about even the very elect? Yep. Yeah. That's really well said. Thank you. That's something I admit I underestimate. The actual toll it takes on you as a human being. That's a really good point. Yeah. Brother, I'm not apologetic about my faith. I think that's a big part of why y'all are here. But I get what you're saying. I dread the EMP situation as it means like the lead character in William Fortune's 1 Second After. Yeah, losing a loved one to the effects of diabetes.
Yeah.
Dude, and I'm telling you, I truly, truly hope this never happens. Nothing would make me happier than to die at 104 years old, bouncing my great-grandchildren on my knee, and none of this ever came to fruition. I would happily be counted the fool that I spent all this money and all this time and had all these concerns and nothing ever happened. If that's what it takes, cool. Call me a fool. I'm in. Because there's way too many people that I love and care for that are not going to make it. My mom is completely medically dependent. My mother. And that's a tough conversation to have. And we literally have had this talk. Mom, how much medicine do you have? 90 days? Okay, you got 90 days? That means, kids, we got 90 good days with grandma.
Yeah.
That's a tough conversation to have. We got 90 good days with grandma. Where are we putting grandma? What part of the dirt are we putting grandma in? Yeah, that's a shitty conversation to have. But you have to think these thoughts. Somebody will. Somebody must. And so I hope it never happens. I hope it's a non-issue. I'd happily be counted a fool. But for me, all indicators are that that's not the way it is.
Well, and if you're wrong, look what you have to lose. You got a bunch of rice that hey, it's Chinese 3 days a week for the next 20 years. However,
Right.
if they're wrong, it's a fatal mistake on their
Right,
part.
and that's
so what exactly are you losing by preparing,
Right.
by taking these steps and doing these things?
That's what we were talking about at dinner. Bring back a Euromeds from Mexico. Yeah. The toughest conversations are generally the shittiest. Yep. But, we have to have those conversations. We got to do those things. I had a really mean Drake and it went to attack me. Introduced it to the wire fence. Way to bring it back around, Mark Chase. Way to bring it back around. All right, guys. Liking the live stream with special guest stars. Yeah, see, I told you. They like the conversations with people.
Yeah, you saw how he spelled special, right? With a SH and
Yeah,
special.
Special. All we have are short buses around here. This is a low funding region. We don't get the long ones.
So are you saying he should do more like guests on these things, or what do you?
What do you guys think? You like the guests? I like the guests. And I know in some videos you guys have told me you like it when I have conversations with people. And I like having conversations. Yep, yeah, good. Good.
Okay.
Cool.
That means Bear's relocating to Ohio.
Negative. All the negs, bro. When we finish Men's Group Monday and we rendezvous wherever we rendezvous at, I think we're going to do a live stream one night on YouTube and we're just going to let it run. And we're going to have like 3 or 4 seats where people just land in and pick up the conversation, just let it run, man.
It would once again break the internet.
It would break the internet, yeah. So I'm getting paged from Miss Biscuits, my wife, and she's saying, hey, when are you coming home? Your children forget what you look like. So we're going to have to put a bow on this thing. Yeah, just make sure there are no chiggers. Okay, I'll tell them all to leave. I'll say, listen here, guys, Jay John's going to be there, so you got to leave. And they'll say, okay, and then they'll leave. So that's what'll happen. I'm staying in Kansas or going to Missouri. Roger. Getting my passport next week. Awesome. So, later, man. I don't feel right about ending these things without praying anymore. So I'm just going to pray right quick and we'll call it an evening. Everybody ready? Here we go. Father Yah, thank you for an opportunity to just get together and hang out with your people again. And that, man, I hope that this is at the very least encouraging, if not educational, Father. And I pray that it just be your words that these people hear. And I thank you for the opportunity to do this. And Father, I just give it to you. I ordain this time to you, and I pray that you would make yourself manifest in our lives, and you would encourage us and give us what we need this day to put a smile on your face. I ask these things in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys and girls. Tasha with the 8K.